Prime Minister take enough time to decide on whether he should stay or go? Do you feel he took enough time to reflect?
No, I don't. But I don't think that he felt that he needed to reflect at all. I think his mind was made up.
What do you make of that?
Disappointing.
So what does this mean for you next?
Well, what it means for me is that this is a decision that he had every right to make, and he made it. I did my job by voicing what I was hearing from my constituents. Now I've got to take my energy and direct them to winning my seat, and not on internal party matters. As far as I'm concerned, it's closed.
Do you think, though, the Prime Minister listened to what he was told yesterday?
Yes, I know he did. I was in the room. Yes.
So how do
Yes, he absolutely did.
So if he listened, how does it 18 hours later he still declares he's staying? How do you square that?
He listened, but he wasn't swayed. There's he felt very strongly. Our views weren't the only ones, and like I say, it was a decision that he had the right to make. I don't think that having this feeding frenzy for another 2 or 3 days would have helped anyone if his mind was made up anyway. So, that's that. It is what it is. It's time. Well, me personally, I'm moving on. There's been so much energy burned on all of this, and that isn't where it needs to be now that this case is clearly closed.
What happens next with the dissenters in the caucus? You don't agree that this case is closed?
I can only tell you what happens next for this dissenter, and I just did. I'm going to focus on winning my seat, and not on this. Do you think, and the others will have to speak for themselves.
Do you think, though, is there some way forward with the Prime Minister? There has to be. I'm just sort of wondering, is he seeing something that you're not seeing? Or is he being delusional and thinking that he can win this thing?
I wouldn't call it delusional, but he's seeing something that I don't see, that my constituents don't see.
Is there any market amongst the people you're talking to? Is there any way for him to rehabilitate his brand and get people to listen to him?
They don't think so. That's what I'm getting, but maybe they're wrong, and maybe he's wrong.
What do you make of his explanation that he thinks he's the best candidate? What do you make of what you heard from the Prime Minister yesterday?
It's remarkably consistent.
Prime Minister coming out some 18 hours after the fact saying he's going to stay on.
Disappointed. I expected him to reflect, or we expected him to reflect for the weekend. It was kind of given a date of October 28th to come back to the group with an answer, and that's a pretty quick response. I think he needs more reflection.
So what does this group do now?
I'm not sure. It's a little bit of a chicken and egg kind of thing, and obviously there's not really a process that caucus can remove a leader. We don't have that process, especially a leader that doesn't want to be removed. So, ultimately it's his choice. I'm just personally disappointed that it's less than really, 20 hours after many of us told him he had to, or we thought he needed to step down. He told us he would reflect. It's a pretty quick reflection, and I think he needs to reflect more.
So what are you going to do now?
I'm not sure. I'm just kind of processing everything, and I'm a proud Liberal. I love the party. The reason I'm doing this is because I care so much about the party. I want us to be around in the future, and I think where we're heading is not on a good path. You see what happened to Kathleen Wynne's Liberals in 2018. And I just don't want to see us do that. They haven't recovered yet. So, the reason behind a lot of us doing this is because we see the polls, we see what potentially is going to happen when there is an election, and we don't want to see that happen. And we think that the party needs to be refreshed, rebooted, new vision, maybe a little nudge to the center, and we need to move forward with the new leader. Now, I respect the leader very much. I respect Justin Trudeau. I know we've done great things for Canada, but, it's not about him. It's not about one person. The Liberal Party is bigger than one person. It's an institution in this country, like I said yesterday, and, I feel very, very strongly that we need to make sure we put our best foot forward going into an election. I don't think we have that best foot forward right now.